There are no shortage of questions that we might wonder about as we read through this extraordinary section of Torah, as we read through this incredibly rich Parsha. There are some, what we would call more minor questions, but they are hardly minor at all. Questions that revolve around things like why, what was the sin? And we'll get to this in a few minutes. But what was the sin that created the destruction of the world, that led to the destruction of the world? Questions about why water and why a flood per se. Questions about why some of the salvation of humanity was done specifically through an ark and specifically through the company of the animals that were there. And many, many other such similar questions, which only in comparison to the meta questions that we'll introduce in a minute, those meta questions are the only things that could possibly dwarf the questions that we mentioned already. But indeed, there are such meta questions. Questions such as, what does it mean for God to give up on humanity? What are the ingredients that go into a decision by God to erase an entire world? At what point does God become so frustrated and so pessimistic about our potential that he does not see any way other than destruction and a restart before creating a new world? These are the questions that loom in the background and in fact will motivate some of our study of the personalities and the event of Parshas Noach.